All right, what's going on? This is your professor, Dr. Jace Austin, and we are doing our introductory video to the spring 2019 semester for 7314, which is your reference sources and, well, basically your reference class. First thing I wanted to let you all know is that this textbook for this class is actually a really good textbook. So you all do need to buy it. There is a possibility that if you get a previous edition that it may suffice for what you need to do. However, your best and most up-to-date information is going to be in edition 4, which looks like this, and you can see 4th edition. Ooh, you can see 4th edition right there. 4th edition. So this is Reference in Information Services and Introduction. This is by Castle and Hermouth, and this is a very good book. It is chock full of a lot of great information that will get you started on becoming a effective information professional. So first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've got a lot that I'm gonna run through here, and this video is probably gonna take me about 30 minutes. So for those of you who had me last semester, and last semester was my first semester here at the University of Missouri in Sisselt, and last semester I was doing videos and trying to limit them to about 15 minutes per video, and I tried to do them every week, but I did have to miss a few weeks. So this semester, that is going to change. I apologize for those of you who were here last semester. This semester, the videos are going to be longer. I did notice that when I taught undergrads previously, that their attention spans, and this isn't me trying to make some sort of generational warfare happen here, but the attention spans, I think, of undergraduate students only permitted me to record 15-minute or so lectures, but that did not give me enough time to do what I needed to do and communicate what I needed to communicate for graduate students and graduate level courses. So these videos are going to be longer this semester. You guys are not undergrads, and I think you can handle it. So sometimes there might be 30-minute videos, sometimes there might be hour-long videos, sometimes the videos might be 15 minutes. But either way, we are going to have videos. You're going to have to look at this face every now and then, and I know that's making some of y'all go, "Ah, I'm sorry." But that's just how it's going to have to go. So this is going to be the introductory video to 7314. We're going to explain a few things, introduce you to a few things within the course and everything so that you can get started effectively, and hopefully everyone is going to have a good semester. Part of this video, well, part of the reason for this video is because I want everyone to be comfortable, and I want everyone to just, I don't know. I hate to use the phrasing of take a chill pill, but at the same time, I don't want you all to stress and worry about a whole lot of stuff when it comes to me. My courses are set up in such a way that as long as you are participating and putting forth a valiant effort, you're probably going to get at least a B in the class. Now, that doesn't mean slack off. Don't do that. But if you are putting forth earnest effort, you are probably going to get a B in this class at least. I have rarely given anything lower than a B in my teaching experience. I have only actually failed a very few people, and that was at the undergrad level, and those were people who did not try anything at all. So that is just to, that's not a license for you to slack off, but at the same time, I don't want you all panicking, okay? We're going to have a good time. I'm determined to have a good time. I can't take myself too seriously. Life is serious enough, and I don't think that reference class should be a matter of life and death. Okay, So let me tell you a few things about me, just so you are familiar with your instructor, and this can serve as a little bit of an icebreaker. Um, Again, the name is Dr. Jason Austin, but most people would just call me Dr. Jace, or you can just call me Jace or Jason or whatever. I'm not hung up on this doctor thing. Yeah, I have a PhD, but so what? So do a whole bunch of people. So we are not going to dwell on a whole bunch of formalities. I am originally from North Carolina. Those of you who know me from last semester know that I prefer the Carolina barbecue styles, but I live in Kansas City now, and the Kansas City style is growing on me just a little bit, just a little tiny bit. I do like the baked beans that they serve here. We did not have baked beans that were this good in the Carolinas. We had coleslaws aside. Anyway, so graduated from undergrad with a degree in English from the University of North Carolina at Wilmington. I got my library science master's at North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina. And then I got my PhD in 2017 from the University of South Carolina. Go Gamecocks. And since then, I have worked as a reference librarian or a public service librarian, or whatever you want to say, at several different institutions, including the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, Forsyth Public Library in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Midlands Technical College in Columbia, South Carolina, and then Coastal Carolina University near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's where I was before coming to Kansas City. I currently work in the Public Services Division at UMKC. So that's why I am living in Kansas City. I am a professor with Mizzou. I am full-time employed with Mizzou, but my position is a joint position, and it has me also giving some of my professional time to UMKC. Now, a few housekeeping notes before we start looking around. Ooh, that's actually not what I want to be in the background. Hold on. As you can see, I make mistakes sometimes, and so will y'all, and we are going to get through things despite our mistakes. Okay, so that's what I want to be in the background, not that other stuff. But just a few housekeeping things before I show you a few things throughout the course here. First of all, and again, this is my second semester at CISL, so I'm still fairly new. It usually takes about 2 to 3 years before a professor really gets into the swing of things at a particular institution. And so, having said that, there are a lot of things that I'm still learning, because even though I did teach at the University of South Carolina while I was working on my degree, the teaching there is very different from the teaching here. But having said that, a few housekeeping things and a few things that I want to bring up as we are, a few things that I want to bring up as sort of clarification as we're going through this course, and I also want to bring them up based on some student feedback that I got last semester, which again was my first semester here. So first things first, I did want to talk about how I'm going to be doing some things that may be a little different, may seem a little weird to you all, but trust me, it's going to work out for the best. So one thing that I was sort of criticized on in my student evaluations from last semester was that I had students who were saying, well, hey, he records his videos and then he also puts stuff on discussion boards that is stuff that he's taught about in the video. So there's actually a method and a reason to that, and I'm going to explain that at this time. So I'm going to, again, try to post a video every week. If things get too busy, I might have to miss it, but I'll email you guys and let you know if I am going to miss it. But I'm going to try to record a video every week. The videos are going to be required, and the videos are going to supplement and enhance and reinforce what is happening elsewhere in the course. So that's what's going on with those videos. That's why these are here. But having said that, if you see me say something in a video that I have also said in a discussion board or in some other area of the course. There's actually a method to that madness, and I probably should have clarified that because the student evaluations last semester suggested that people didn't understand why I was doing that. So the reason that that was going on was because there are some people who learn best or retain best by reading things, and there's some people who retain best by hearing things. And so there are going to possibly, yes, be times when you see a video and the video has me saying things that I've said in the discussion board already. You might be thinking to yourself, hey, he's already said that in the discussion board. Why is he saying that in the video? And the reason for that is because you might be one of those people then who retains the best by reading. But there are going to be some classmates of yours who retain the best by hearing something in a video. So those people may appreciate that I've said the same thing in the video that I've also said in the discussion board, even when you think it's a waste of time. But it's, again, to reinforce. It's so that you are able to retain what I'm giving you, and if you are able to retain what I'm giving you, then hopefully that will make you more successful in the course. What else do I want to talk about really quick, housekeeping, before we sort of look around in the course? Let's see. I do want to mention this. So I am actually a pretty nice professor. I'm very easygoing. I am not someone who's looking to crucify you at every angle. And like I said earlier, and I hope you all trust me, but like I said earlier, this course is set up so that if you try, you're going to pass. You're going to get at least a B. So if you don't get a 100 on an assignment, please don't panic. You will have participation points. You will have a margin of error so that there is a strong possibility that you will get an A in the course, even if you get a B on the assignment. This is apparently different from how some of the other classes go in CISL, and I understand that different teachers have their different styles, but that's my style. My style is don't worry too much. You got this. We are aimed at making you all successful. So please don't freak out or overreact if you get a B or even a C on an assignment. It does not mean you're going to fail the class. It doesn't even mean that you're not going to get an A in the class. This course is set up so that your participation counts a lot, and this course is set up so that I can give you honest feedback and even possibly penalize when I don't think your work is up to snuff on a particular assignment, but you can still be successful in the class. And that's one thing that I want you all to keep in mind. Another thing that I want you all to keep in mind is that I am not, because another thing that I got in my student evaluation feedback last semester a lot was people were saying, hey, and I know that some of you, I've looked at the class roster, some of you had me last semester, so this may have been a criticism that you had, but a lot of people said, hey, he's really unprofessional. And to that I just say, sorry. If you're looking for Professor Plum from the board game Clue, you're not going to find him here. There actually seems to be a divide from what I can see in professional librarianship of librarians who are really professional and they really want to be taken super seriously and they are really adamant about putting their best face forward at all times. And then that gets juxtaposed with the hipster librarians and the children's librarians who have all the color in their hair and all this stuff. And those are the people that I think have more fun in the profession, are those who don't take themselves overly seriously. If I wanted to take myself really seriously, I would go into a profession where, yes, it's life and death. I would go into policing or into medicine or into law, or I would be an electrician who they have very small margin for error, but I am in librarianship and information because I don't want to take myself too seriously. I want to have some fun. And I just want to be relaxed and I want to have a good time, and I want the people that I teach to have a good time and be relaxed. So having said that, yeah, as you can see, I'm not even in a very professional stance right now, if you want to call it that. I'm just like kind of leaned up in my chair, just kind of chilling. And yeah, there are going to be some things that maybe you do find unprofessional. I'm going to tell jokes every now and then. I'm going to curse every now and then. I have a really foul mouth. And I guess this is a cultural thing or maybe a generational thing. I remember being in high school and a lot of my teachers in high school even, and well, maybe eighth grade, but not so much middle school, but a lot of my teachers in K-12, especially at the high school level, they cursed, they were unprofessional, they were people who were just out of college because I went to really trashy schools, and people who had 3 years of experience moved on and did other things at better school systems. So, having said that, like I said, if you are looking for the suit and tie professor who takes himself uber seriously, I'm sorry, you're not getting that here. I am chill, I am trying to have a good time, and I am not going to, I don't know. If this whole unprofessional thing, you're going to have a lot of colleagues if you stay in librarianship or if you stay in information who are hipsters or who are different types of people, and you're going to, I guess, find them unprofessional if what you're looking for is the polished statesman, I guess, if you're looking for the Ronald Reagan of libraries. That's not what you're going to find with me, and it's not what you're going to find with some coworkers. For those of you who are put off by that sort of style, I apologize in advance, but what can I say? I'm happy, and nobody's going to rob me of my happiness. So we've got that going. Let's see. As far as emails and phone calls and that sort of thing, I am going to try to get that to you as soon as I can. One thing that I was not prepared for, honestly, and this is my fault, I don't want this to come off as blame shifting. It is 100% my fault. But one thing that last semester that I contended with was the volume of emails that I got here far exceeded the volume of emails that I ever got at South Carolina as a teacher. I'm just going to warn you guys about this right now. So if I have several people asking me the same thing, then I may in fact not email 10 people individually to answer the same question. I might just address that in a lecture, or I might just address that in a discussion board or something. So you're going to have to pay attention to the discussion board. You are going to have to watch the videos. You might miss something important if you do not. So that's another piece that I want to kind of put out there. And I am going to try to respond to emails in a timely fashion if I'm going to respond versus sending out a mass email to the class. But if you don't hear from me in about 48 hours, please just try to get back to me. One thing that I want you all to keep in mind is that my job encompasses a lot of things. I've basically got a joint position where I am both a professor here at Mizzou and a librarian at UMKC. So I'm getting 2 email streams, and then plus part of my job, believe it or not, is scholarship. So that means that I have to publish or perish. That means that I am working on publications and presentations. That's part of my job. It's part of my annual review. And so I have to do it. And so I also get a stream of emails that come at me that way. So, the emails are always stocked and packed and whatnot. So, I apologize in advance. I'm going to try to get to you all as I can. I have gotten rid of some of my professional commitments from previous semesters because I have figured out that I was overcommitted and I couldn't continue what was going on and have this joint position. But having said that, I will get back to you as I can, but if you want to send a reminder after 48 hours, that's perfectly fine. Now, as far as giving extensions because of things happening to people, please note in that situation that, again, I'm nice, I'm laid back, and I'm here for your success. So, like people have deaths in the family or deaths of friends, for instance. That sort of thing is unavoidable. Every semester that I have taught, whether it was at Missouri or at Coastal Carolina, where I did adjunct, or at South Carolina, where I was teaching while I was working on my PhD. In all of those situations, people had deaths come up. When you have a death come up, let me know. When you have an illness come up, let me know. But even, and I will definitely grant, I might want some more information out of you just so that I know you're telling the truth. But I generally grant extensions when people have those types of life situations. But even life situations that don't seem that serious, as serious as a death or illness, if your significant other breaks up with you, for instance, while you are, seems I got some freeze here. Okay, if your significant other breaks up with you on the day that your assignment is due, that's very stressful. I'm getting out of what I wouldn't call it a relationship because we were never official, but I am getting out of something that was very toxic and codependent. And, I'm doing better because I have escaped that. But at the same time, I can empathize. So, if your significant other left you on the due date, let me know. Just say, I'm too depressed. I can't do this today. I'll give you another day. I'll give you another 2 days. It's all good. And we are going to get through this. That is the main thing. I want a recurring theme to be, as long as you try, we are going to get through this. So, having said that, let's take a look at the course. All right, yeah, let's take a look at this course. Okay, so we are going to have Screencast-O-Matic make me a little smaller so that your eyes no longer have to see that pain. And let's go to this class, and that class is right here, Spring 2019 7314, Austin. That is me, Dr. Jace. So here's in this course right now, as I'm doing this is unpublished, but then also even once I publish it, it's going to be in an instructor view. So it's going to look a little different on your end from what it looks on my end. You guys will be looking at it as a student view. I am looking at it as an instructor view. But let's look. So if you want to, for one thing, a lot of information is in the syllabus, so you may want to actually consult the syllabus before asking me certain questions, but you can always access the syllabus from the sidebar menu here. Go to syllabus and we will have our syllabus for 2019. I've got my contact information here, Dr. Jace Austin, aka Dr. Jace. Email austinj@missouri.edu or austinj@umkc.edu. Both of them will work because I work for both institutions. So this is my phone number. However, I do not have a Mizzou phone number. If you need to reach me at my UMKC phone number, 816-235-1875. Email, though, is the best way to reach me, but you can reach me by phone as well. So we do have a course overview. One of the primary tasks of librarianship is locating information and making it available to people who are seeking that information. And the goal of this course is basically to help you evaluate tools and learn a few of the behaviors that people do when they are trying to seek information so that you are better able to understand and assist people as they are trying to find information. We have some learning outcomes here, and our learning outcomes, there are departmental learning outcomes in CISL for the library science program, And two of those are relevant for this class. Student learning outcome number 4. Students demonstrate an ability to prepare, advocate for, and deliver accurate and impartial information services. Student learning outcome number 5 is also relevant to this course, and that is students recognize the information needs of diverse user groups and communities, proactively address those needs, and advocate for improved services to underserved groups. So there are some course goals that you can look at, and these are some assignments that you're going to have to do. I'm going to scroll down. These are the major assignments. Let me move myself here. So these are the major assignments that you're going to have. You're going to have a LibGuide project where you are going to create a LibGuide. I am going to record a video that kind of explains what a LibGuide is and give you some of the basics though, on LibGuide creation. And the reason I'm only going to give the basics on LibGuide creation is because I want you all to sort of spread your wings and fly and just do your own thing. When I did the LibGuide assignments last semester, one of the things that happened was because I didn't give an excessive amount of guidance, people sort of did their own thing. They were creative. And so a lot of people really enjoyed that assignment because they got to do their own thing. Wikipedia editing assignment. This is very important for the greater good of the public, in my opinion. You are going to improve a Wikipedia page. Virtual reference and practice report. These are two different assignments, actually. You've got a virtual reference, and then you've got a sort of what's overlapping here, and what you're going to see is you're going to have a reference interaction report, which is listed here. Both the virtual reference practice report and the reference interaction report are kind of testing on a course, on the similar course goal here. Then you're going to have a semester-long project, and this is something that I have altered from last semester. If you had students who took if you have friends who took this class with me last semester, they probably complained about the final exam, and their final exam complaints were actually quite merited. That was poorly done on my part. And so in order to save you all some stress this semester, instead of that being a final exam, it's going to be semester long. You're going to have access to it immediately, and you can work on it through the entire semester. It's probably actually going to take you all about 40 hours to complete, possibly. So you are probably going to want to work again through that. You're going to work on that throughout the semester. You've got all of the assignments listed, as well as some due dates here. I will be penalizing for late work if it's excessively late and if you didn't give me a heads up that it was going to be late. But hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. If we need to extend assignments, we will. I personally don't believe that it harms people to extend assignments, but I was told in some feedback last semester that it was harmful to extend assignment due dates. That was something that my students at South Carolina didn't seem to mind too much, but again, there's just kind of a different atmosphere here. So we'll navigate through that. But I want to give you all adequate time to finish assignments, so I am going to if we have technical glitches or things of that nature, we're going to work through that, okay? All right, required readings. You're going to have required readings listed in the modules, and then you all do need to buy the textbook. So, or you don't necessarily need to buy it. If someone gives it to you, that's fine. Who cares, really? But you are going to need to obtain the textbook. And again, if you obtain the 3rd edition, some of the chapters are out of order, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty much the same. Most of your additional required readings are going to be things that you can get through Ellis Library. If you have some difficulties, either let myself know or contact the library through chat or other reference services, and they will assist you. Most of my students get A's. Now, don't take that for granted. If you do a trashy job in a class, you're probably not going to get an A, but most of my students get A's, the overwhelming majority. If you don't get an A, pretty much everyone else gets a B. As long as you put forth effort, you're probably going to be awarded a B. This here says the grade of B is awarded for less than outstanding, and so that's still effort. But if you just do the least you can do to get by, you'll get a C. And if you totally screw up, I'll fail you. But I have, again, never failed a graduate student. Weekly routine, you're going to have readings to do every week. You're going to have a video to watch every week. And so, you know, just kind of get used to what's going on weekly. You are going to, what am I saying here? It just escaped me. But you are going to, oh yes. So you're going to have discussion posts most weeks, but not every week. So if you don't have a discussion board prompt every week, don't freak out. That's okay. All right. About your instructor's participation, if you don't hear from me within 24 to 48 hours of emailing me, try to email me again. I have, again, emails coming from 2 professional employer streams as well as scholarship streams. Here is my late work policy. After 5 days, yeah, you're really pushing it, okay? So just remember that. Course calendar, that will be telling you what is expected of you throughout each week. You can go ahead and look at that. I am just going to scroll through that because we are already at 30 minutes and counting. So you can just kind of look at that. If you have any questions, ask me. There are different resources. If you need help, if you got technical difficulties, please reach out to the people who handle those. Online class, netiquette. I'm laid back, like I said. Sometimes I curse, sometimes I tell jokes that might be offensive, whatever. But I am never going to intentionally try to hurt or harm any of you. And I expect the same in the discussion boards. If you want to tell a joke and it's relevant to what you're posting, that's fine. If you want to curse, who the hell cares? But don't be nasty to each other and put each other down. That is going to be a hell no in my class. Please be respectful. There are going to be ideas that are exchanged, I'm sure, that will offend you. I am somebody who offends a lot of people, and I really don't give a damn. Okay, students with disabilities. Yeah. If you have disabilities, that is a very serious thing, and it's something that you need to work with the Office of Disabilities, Office of Disability Services with, so that I am able to adjust, so that I am able to deal with those adequately. If you have disabilities that are subject to impacting your performance in this course, please do not be silent. Please reach out to them. Please let them know what's going on, and we will work with that. Again, I take disabilities very seriously. Do not suffer in silence. And you will also see the course summary of due dates there. Let's see what else we got going on. So we have assignments. You'll learn more about the assignments when the assignments are coming up during the modules, but just so you know, first thing you're going to need to do is a syllabus quiz, and the syllabus quiz, I am going to be watching those very carefully because some of the answers will be right that you all put in, but the quiz is going to mark them wrong. I have multiple answers that the quiz is supposed to recognize, but that doesn't mean that it is going to do everything appropriately as it should. So I'm watching the syllabus quiz. Go ahead and get that done after you read the syllabus. Reference interaction report, that's going to be due February 10th. And that is not going to be rocket science. You're pretty much getting reference interaction and then letting me know how it goes, but I will flesh that out. once that assignment becomes part of a weekly module. Virtual reference and practice papers, I have not assigned you your partner yet. You will be assigned a partner once we know more for certain who is going to stay in this class and who is not. The Wikipedia edit assignment, that is, I think, the most fun assignment because your work is seen by people outside of this class. You're going to edit a existing Wikipedia page. If you want to start a Wikipedia page, I guess I will accept that. Let me know, but I think that that would be overkill. You are going to create a LibGuide. I will explain what a LibGuide is, and I will explain to you the basics of how to do it. And again, get this started, the semester-long project. It is available until May the 18th. It is due May the 9th. It's going to take you probably about 40 hours to complete. All right, and then we do have discussion boards, so let me go there. All right, so let's look at some discussions here. So discussion boards, you all will have prompts on discussion boards. You all do need to participate in the discussions, and you that will be a big part of your participation grade. And when you are participating in discussions, it gives you leeway so that a B on an assignment is not necessarily a B in the class. So be on it when it comes to discussions. Now, when it comes to discussions, if you have questions, you can email me. You can also post them in questions, comments, and news. Some of your classmates may have the answer to some of your questions, and therefore posting them here, some of your classmates may also have the same question, and that sort of also gives you an opportunity to interact with others. Introductions, you are going to want to hit your introductions right away. Let your classmates know who you are. Let me know who you are. Tell me a little bit about yourself. If you want to do a video introduction, I would love that because I would love to hear your voices. So let me see all of that. And then there is actually a free-for-all forum, which was not taken advantage of last semester, even though my students at South Carolina really did take advantage of it a lot. And this is where you can talk about anything. So if you're hosting a party and you want to invite your classmates, that's where you can post that. Or if you want to talk about the Super Bowl, if you want to talk about sports, or if you want to talk about a conference that you're going to and trying to see if other people are there or are going, or if you want to exchange Twitter handles or whatever you want to do, this is the free-for-all. I'm not going to be monitoring it that closely, and that will not factor into your participation grade. So that free-for-all forum, that is there for you. These are the different discussion prompts you have, as you can see here. Sorry they are out of order. It's just kind of a weird thing with this Canvas system. I had Blackboard at South Carolina. I actually like Blackboard a lot better than Canvas, but what are you going to do? So you have 7 total discussion prompts, even though they are all out of whack here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then you also have this database discussion thing. This is actually called the unassignment, and that is different from a regular discussion board prompt. Grades, I'm going to be grading you. Modules, as you look in those. Another thing that's different with Canvas and also different with Mizzou as opposed to Blackboard and teaching at South Carolina is that I am actually making all of these things available from Jump Street. So your different modules, they are already available. Week 1 is already available. It'll tell you what you need to read, what you will need to do, which discussion prompt goes with week 1. And you will have those all the way through to the last week of the class, which is going to be week 15. And this will include the chapters that you read in the book. So if you see RIS, that stands for Reference and Information Services, which is your textbook, and those are the chapters that you have to read. One thing that I was criticized about in the student evaluation from last semester is that I did have some students who said, hey, he makes us read a lot. And he, in addition to saying, hey, he makes us read a lot, they were saying, hey, the readings, they don't seem to help with the assignments. Well, sometimes you have to read stuff to know the profession, and it's not going to directly have a bearing or impact on an assignment. So I apologize for that, but the reading is for your knowledge. You are an information professional in training. You're going to have to know stuff. So you may have to read stuff in order to know stuff. But those of you, for instance, who are history majors in undergrad already know this. Reading is a thing, but you don't have to read verbatim. Like, you're not going to be tested on or quizzed on the content of the textbook. That's not going to happen. So when you are reading, yes, it's important that you read the content of this class, but any history major who had to read like a stack of stuff every week would tell you that they didn't read that stuff verbatim. You know, they just kind of read it, got their overview. They skimmed some pieces. Don't skim the entire reading, but, you know, skim through, glean what you think is important, try to retain what you can, but do not read things 2 and 3 times as if I'm going to quiz you on it. I'm, for the most part, not quizzing on reading. I am quizzing on the syllabus reading. You do have to read the syllabus and pass a quiz on that, but you don't have to pass textbook readings. But as I said, you are doing yourself a disservice if you do not do the reading. So please do it. Let's see. What else do we need to know before I let you guys go? Support and policies. Yeah. There are policies here. So if you need stuff related to copyright, related to FERPA, so forth and so on, you got that there. Tech support, you can find out how to reach those guys. Learning resources, including the library, should be there, but it's not. Oh, there it is. I was like, where is the library? Because I know it was there. Okay, so if you need MU libraries, that's there. So you've got support and policies. You got people who want to help. And if I need to start doing Zooms, I probably will. I just need to nail down a time that I will do those. And then you can join me and communicate with me in real time. And that might be helpful for some of you. So that is the rundown. If you have any questions, again, I am a very friendly and very easygoing guy. Please do not be intimidated by me. I am the most unintimidating man on the planet. Like, I am seriously the guy that little old ladies in the grocery store stop and they're just like, hey, can you get that for me, please? And I'm just like, of course I can get that for you, because even though I'm only 5'9", I have ridiculously long, freakish arms. So I can get stuff from that top shelf for you. So that's pretty much the rundown. Let me try to keep this under 50 minutes. I guess we are at 43 minutes right now. But again, folks, please, let's just try to have a good time. Let's just try to enjoy each other. Please, let's get to know each other, because it was easier when you had a classroom setting, but we want to cultivate an environment here where you all are building professional contacts even at the student level. So that's part of the reason why you're going to have partners in that virtual reference assignment, is because I hope that you will communicate with your partners after the course is over. And I want you all to bond and network and look out for each other. Nothing would please me more than to hear that 10 years down the road, somebody that you met in my class helped you get a job. That's what this is. That's what this is about. So having said that, you know, let's get into this. And, you know, just enjoy it. Life is too short. Life is too damn short to be worried about a bunch of stuff, okay? So don't make my class something that you worry too much about. And with that,